My name is Margaret, and I'm 53 years old. I live in Morning View, Kentucky, and I'm addicted to stinging myself with bees. I sting myself on my hip, my elbow, on a finger, my ankle, my forehead, on the tip of my nose. The most I've ever given myself was between 15 and 20 in my left hip. I really love stinging myself with bees.
Margaret has been addicted to bee stings for the past 10 years.
Okay.
Her addiction started innocently as a way to relieve her arthritis. In search of relief from the pain, Margaret turned to the beehives in her backyard.
I had read how people have been using it to relieve certain pain symptoms. The first time that I stung myself, it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would. And it just got easier every time.
But what started an occasional prick of pain for medical reasons has spiraled into 15 stings a day.
There's a couple trigger points right here that I like to sting. Kind of put a little dent in it with my fingernail. I gently tap it on the abdomen, and it comes away like that.
She's always had kind of a taste for looking at the odd side of things. At this point now, with 15 stings a day, that's when I'm starting to get really concerned about this.
Get a rodeo cheeseburger, part of the Cheeseburgers Made Interesting range at Hungry Jack's.
I'm Justin Jedlicka, I'm 32 years old, and I'm a living doll. Say my daddy. I have 125 procedures. And it's been $150,000 to make me really resemble a doll. And chest was first, then moved on to bicep implants, tricep implants, a brow bone shave. I had a brow lift, and I started having a couple other nose revisions. They all get a little fuzzy after a while, but at the end I've had 5 nose jobs now. The doll really exemplifies sort of the ideal male aesthetic. When I was probably about 12 or 13, I used to always watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and I always had this idea in my brain. I wish that my family could have this family that was wealthy, and we could fly in private jets, and we could have our own boat. And that was always sort of a wish list. It was a dream in my mind. And I ended up sort of emulating what I thought a lot of those wealthy people look like. You know, they all had plastic surgery. And I realized that I had a liking for some more exaggerated features and this ideal male physique, you know, a little bit more like a doll, like a hero, you know, this like tiny waist and this large upper body.
I believe my husband is poisoning me. I have needle marks everywhere, all over my body. My forehead, around my eyes, nose, my private area on my back, underneath my breasts. I have over 1,000 pictures, just keeping track.
of injection marks. I had one just yesterday while we were out. He could sneak up behind me. Next thing I know, came home, 2 needle marks on my neck.
It's not happening.
He injected me in my eyes, on top of my eyelids, in between my eyebrows, my temple, forehead, on my chin. He did it last night. Woke up struggling to breathe. It hurts. It hurts. I wear this neck brace to protect my neck, to keep the needles, him from poking me with the needles. Call me crazy, call me whatever, but I call it, I gotta do what I gotta do. I've even caught Mira tampering with my food. He would make comments like, oh, what are you eating? With a grin on his face. I had a really bad reaction after I ate it. I had trouble breathing. I got myself tested for different toxins at the hospital. It showed positive for arsenic, but they said it didn't show enough to be life-threatening. I believe Mira is using very low level, just enough to make me tired, sick, and drowsy.
I love you very much, and I want things to get better between us.
That's all your you tried to hurt me when I'm not looking.
I don't know what to say.
Mira is very sneaky. Mira keeps Nito with him all the time. I'm constantly alert. Mira stays up waiting for me to go to sleep, to the point where I just sleep on a chair. Some nights I go to bed 2, 3 in the morning, so I don't want to get sick. This is what's been going on. I'm not a crazy person.
But why on earth would her husband Mira purposely, systematically poison his wife of nearly 20 years? Well, Pat says he has a very good reason. She claims Mira wants her sedated so he can molest their 3 beautiful teen daughters.
Mira has molested the girls thousands of times. I've caught him touching them, fondling them. You know, they could open the fridge or get into the pantry. He'll touch them, you know, grab their butt. Every opportunity he has, he'll try something. When my oldest was 2, I've noticed she was pleasuring herself. I made a phone call to my husband. I said, why is Melina touching her private area? And he said that was normal. He sneaks in the girls' room in the middle of the night while I'm asleep. The first time I caught Mira, I woke up and caught him on top of my youngest with his hand on her private. That's when I set up cameras. I placed the nanny cam underneath the bed, in the closet, in between these clothes, behind the mirror. One night, I've caught my oldest daughter on tape, fully naked, and so was he. I was in shock. I started to shake. The next day, I wanted to view it again, and that very date was deleted, and I knew he had gotten a hold of the tape. Every second of the day, wherever my daughters are, that's where I am. I no longer shower when he's home. I wanted to work, but I can't. This is where I sleep. I don't share the same room with my husband anymore. I'm very repulsed by my husband. He's one sick, twisted SOB.
Victoria means the world to me. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever met. There's also a dark side when it comes to Victoria. She starts coming at me like, walking up to me like she's got her hands balled up, and she's just standing over me like trying to size me up. In the past 8 months, there's been a lot of physical violence. A dog leash was hanging by the door, and I was on my way out, and she grabbed it and just started whipping me with it. She's punched me, she's kicked me, she's scratched me, bitten me. She's giving me black eyes, hit me in the nose. kicked me in the balls quite a few times. Once we were arguing, I was drinking a glass of orange juice in the kitchen, and I called her, and she came in there and slapped the glass into my mouth and chipped my tooth. Well, one time she was having such a big rage fit that she got my PlayStation. She smashed it off the 3rd-story balcony.
He wasn't paying enough attention to me. So
oh, you think I was?
The solution is to throw it off.
I do have to hit her back because it's the only way I can protect myself. After attacking me for a while, I had to get up and finally defend myself. I got up and hit her back. It left her a black eye for almost 3 weeks. 3 months ago, we got into a real big fight, and it was really loud. The neighbors called the cops. Victoria ended up taking off to work, and while she was at work, the police showed up at my house.
What the police saw at the house was Jeremy had about a half-inch scratch on his stomach. He got the scratch from a dog.
They noticed there were scratches coming down right here and on my back. Dogs don't have 5 fingers, 4 fingers. You could clearly see a handprint.
Next thing I knew, the police showed up at my place of work and they arrested me for domestic violence. I was in jail for 2 days. Jail was absolutely the worst experience ever. I saw women with beards, mustaches. They served us green hot dogs.
I felt destroyed because that's my baby girl. I don't think she'd kill me because she's a vegan, because you know vegans don't like killing things. I love her to death. There's just a couple things that need to get worked on, and if we can get through it, we'll be all right. We'll be great.
You better tell the truth.
What are you telling him?
He better tell the truth, because a lot of the things he is saying is not true. He's hit me, he's left me black eyes, bruises all over. He's done the exact same stuff to me. He's acting like he's just the innocent one, and you're not. That day that I got arrested, Jeremy, you know what you did to me. So why don't you say what you actually did to me and why I got arrested?
Hi.
How you doing?
How you doing?
First off, I want to say it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's good to meet you.
All right.
I just need to tell you, in case I get hit by lightning before I get it said, you don't want to be putting your hands on a woman in anger or in a fight. I don't care what she's doing. I'm going to tell you this for a variety of reasons, but let me tell you, for a selfish reason for you, you're going to wind up in prison. And if she's beating on you, then you need to do one of two things. You either need to get on the other side of a door, or you need to get out a window and run. And if that's what's happening in this relationship, you need to just keep running if that's what's necessary. And if he's hitting you, and that's no way to live. I mean, you don't want to be in a relationship where you're getting hit.
Exactly. That's why we are here. We both made the conscious decision knowing that what we're doing is wrong, and we want to make this work. At least I do.
All right, now.
But you have to be honest about
okay,
what's really happening.
well, and so do you.